moves. You're just gonna hold that the entire time? Because
I can
no,
put it
I
down.
actually think that'd be funny. Hi, everybody.
I strongly oppose to beer.
Welcome to Models and Movies. This is the 19th episode. I know. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe you're here. Look who's back. Ashelyn. Ashelyn came back.
Surprising, I know.
Ashelyn went away to be a scientist, and she came back for Christmas time. In fact, yesterday was Christmas. Did you have a good Christmas?
I'm tired.
I had a great Christmas. You're always tired because you're always doing everything.
Yep.
She also has a new puppy that
I
I'm showing behind us because it's so adorable.
She's perfect.
Yeah. No different new photos today just because she came to hang out and she's very tired, and I wanted to make this as easy as possible. So I made her watch one of the worst films ever made, a Serbian film. And she loves horror films, so she was all over this movie. And what'd you think?
It was interesting.
We didn't watch a Serbian film. What did we watch?
I was so confused. I was like, is it a Serbian film? I thought it was in English. I don't...
What did we watch?
The Core?
Oh, we watched The Core.
I went to the core of everything we stand against, really, in movies, so...
Like entertainment, things that make sense, characters that we care about.
Plot development.
Anyway, let's do beer of the show.
Okay.
Or wine of the show. Beer of the show.
Yes, I strongly oppose the wine, the beer.
So, I looked for a beer that had anything to do with a core, and I really thought that like a cider, there would be a cider out
that
there
makes sense.
that had something about a core, but they didn't. So I picked a beer that's terrible,
Like the movie.
like the movie, but it has one of these.
Maybe. Please don't hurt me.
Ooh, that's how you know it's good, right there.
Yeah.
All right, so you're not gonna like this. As always, the rule is the model on Models and Movies has to taste the beer, does not have to drink the beer.
Oh, thank God.
So you're gonna have to use your mug though, because you can't drink out of my. Ashelyn works with infectious diseases, so she's not allowed to share mugs with me.
I am not infected with anything.
That she knows of.
Valid. But
You can pour your own little sip
Thank
to
you.
taste, but I wouldn't. Yeah, there you go.
That's
No, well, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
here.
I just didn't want you to, blop it to get it all foam and stuff like that. So
I was a bartender at one time.
That's right,
Please
you
remember
were.
that.
at a little bar called Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to wear the fuzzy boots.
Yep. I did.
Thank you for
Capitalize on the
coming,
body.
Ashelyn.
Yep.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Okay, one sip's done, so we're gonna put that back there. We're
There's
gonna
the
wash
face.
it down.
There's the face.
That is so bitter.
Yeah, so another bad thing about terrible
Is that it's terrible.
is not just that it's terrible.
It's actually not that
It is
bad.
a a quadruple ale, and 10.5% alcohol. So not only is it bad, but it will kill people.
But that's gonna f you up.
That's going to take a bit for me to get used to. Ooh, the second sip is even
Oh
worse.
yeah, a big sip's probably bad.
Let's talk about the core.
Yeah, that's not gonna make it any better.
No, it's not.
It'll distract from the pain, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let me give you a little bit of backstory about why I chose this movie for Ashelyn, because she actually made a request to review a movie that was science-y. Because she knows the thing about science.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. And I know some things about science, and I thought watching what is arguably the worst science movie ever made would be fun. I was so wrong.
It
So
was
wrong.
really bad. It didn't make any sense.
It wasn't fun. It was tedious to watch. It was long. You know, I said
It
it was.
didn't feel that long though.
Well, we were farting around. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
were doing a lot.
We were having other conversations.
We were catching up. I haven't seen you
Yeah.
in almost a year.
Uh,
Wait, is it a year? Like
I don't
a
know.
while.
It's been too long. Yeah.
But yeah, most bad movies are around 90 minutes. Some even clock in a little bit less than that. This was 2 hours and 12 minutes.
They just incorporated all of the scenes that would be deleted.
They made so many bad movies in one bad movie.
They did. It was almost impressively bad.
Let's talk about the plot.
What plot?
There you go. No, there was a plot, and you are to tell me now what the plot is.
From what I recall, it was something along the lines that the liquid on the inner core was going to stop rotating, which would affect the electromagnetic waves that are necessary for things to operate for normal everyday life. So they needed to come up with this fallacy of a laser to dig down to the inner core and restart the turning of the liquid.
With what?
Nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one should watch The Core.
If you want background noise, maybe, or some like if you're on
Ooh,
LSD.
If you're having trouble sleeping on
yeah,
LSD,
that's good. Yeah. It's got
Okay.
some really trippy CGI.
So yes, yeah, it does. You
Yeah.
know, and you can see through diamonds or something like that.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I don't
so
know,
yes,
or whales.
Ashelyn is correct. The major plot line of this movie is the core of the Earth has stopped spinning.
Right, so physics 101, hot metal moving fast makes an electromagnetic field. The spinning liquid outer core is the engine that drives the EM field. And that's where we have our problem.
This engine has stalled. The core of the Earth has stopped spinning.
Because apparently it spins. I didn't know that. but
I didn't
guess
know it either.
it
And it's
does.
iron.
It's made of molten and solid iron.
But it's a big solid chunk of iron, we think.
Anyway, it spins at 1,000
And
miles an hour.
diamonds? And diamonds?
They're in the magma somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know. Or in the mantle. Okay, so we learned a lot about geology in this film, but we learned nothing because it was mostly wrong.
Yeah.
So yes, so this core was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and all of a sudden it stopped,
Yeah.
which is implausible at best.
Because
And-
all of their stuff was still working.
Yeah,
You know, like radar and radio.
I feel like some of that stuff would just not
No,
work
isn't
anymore.
that like the whole thing of like if the world goes to shit from a solar flare?
Yeah, well, that's an EM. That's similar to like a giant EMP pulse where it
Isn't
knocks
that
out
what they were
everything.
saying was occurring?
Yes, but remember, it was like one beam of microwaves. We're
That
gonna-
was separate.
We're gonna get to that.
I don't understand what happened. So
If you've ever seen Armageddon and you laughed at some of the science-y jargon bullshit that they talked about in Armageddon, this ramps it up to about 1,000% of that. I mean, it was so much thrown at you where you're just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll go with it. Okay, so they have to invent or develop this thing to tunnel down and set off the nuclear bombs to somehow restart the core spinning at the same speed it's supposed to.
Even if we somehow came up with a brilliant plan to fix the core, we just can't get there.
What if we could?
Good
yeah,
luck.
how did they estimate that
Yeah, we're not there yet.
or ever? I don't know.
We're never going to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the characters in this film because
There's a lot
they're
of big
terrible.
names. Yeah,
Yes, some of the actors in this
so
film,
bizarre.
a lot of good actors who wish
Yeah.
they were never in this film. What was it? Eric Adelson? No. Wait.
No, Aaron.
Aaron Eckhart,
Yeah.
who not recently, maybe was that 10 years ago that it was Dark Knight?
Oh,
He
no,
was recently
yeah.
Two-Face,
Yeah.
or Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. He was in this film and wishes he wasn't.
Yeah. The president from Independence Day.
Not him.
Isn't it him? The
No.
pilot was also in Independence Day, was he not?
Oh, shit.
I swear the
He might have
pilot
been. He might
was
have
the
been.
president.
But that is the guy that you said, I don't think he was in Independence
No,
Day.
you were talking about Aaron.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
The pilot was the president in Independence Day.
I forget his name at the moment. And
Yeah.
Hilary Swank was also in this film. I believe she won the Oscar for Best Actress in Babies Don't Cry or Boys Don't Cry. Boys Don't Cry.
This is not my field, I don't
It
know.
was a boxing film. She pretended to be a boy. All right. Then there's a black guy.
I don't know what else he's been in.
I don't remember his name, but he
He talked
somehow
very softly.
had invented all the technology that they used
Yeah.
to get to
and
the
he lived
center
in
of the
Utah.
Earth.
That's impossible.
I combine the crystals in a tungsten titanium matrix at supercool temperatures. That's what did the trick.
Yes.
In the salt fields.
He demonstrated his laser. We have some problems with the laser.
We have so many problems with this laser because I use like what they said it was.
Mm-hmm.
I use it for microscopy and other things, and it doesn't go through the material. I don't understand.
Well, you probably use a laser on the scale of milliwatts, and this is probably megawatts. It doesn't.
I don't know.
None of it made any sense. So they have this array of lasers that's going to cut a hole through the mantle.
And it spins. Somehow that's safe, so.
No, I don't think the lasers
Yeah,
spun.
it did.
No, there were a bunch of lasers.
And then it went zoo, zoo,
Oh,
zoo,
did it
zoo.
turn?
Yeah, like a turbine.
Man, it was a mess. This
Yeah.
movie's a disaster.
How do they control the power sources for the lasers in a circular fashion?
They don't. It was movie magic.
Oh, Jesus.
Help us. Yes, take the wheel. So then we have Hilary Swank, whose character is, her name is Beck,
Oh, yeah.
short for Rebecca. She is a space cadet. She landed the space shuttle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's a really stupid scene where the space
What was
shuttle...
the point of that?
Okay, so here's what actually was supposed to be happening. Because the core was not spinning or whatever,
Yeah, their
the
thing was off.
actual... Oh, I thought the
Yeah.
actual rotation of the Earth was off.
No. So basically, like it's like airplanes where they have the automated like landing thing where they
Okay.
lock onto something and it sends a signal to their computers and it tells the computer where to land.
Yes.
But that
got
was
screwed
off
up.
because of the
They were off
electromagnetic
193 miles and had to, instead of landing at Edwards Air Force Base, and
Conveniently.
wherever, they landed in LA,
Yeah, downtown LA.
downtown,
In a where the water, what is that called?
in the
Like
drainage runoff
From the-
things that are in LA. I mean,
Yeah.
they're there. They had a chase scene in Gone in 60 Seconds in that
Mm-hmm.
thing too. It's a pretty famous. I think that's where they did the Grease
Oh yeah, you're right.
chase too,
Yeah.
or race.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Aurora Borealis was in this film. Mm-hmm. Not a major character, but just was in it.
Yep.
Then there was a super hacker.
Yeah,
His
guy.
name is Rat.
He was in
and
some other things too.
I am going to demonstrate to you how I can give you free long distance on your cell phone forever. Do you have your cell phone on you?
I do.
Okay, well, ready?
Yeah,
I need to hold it, and I go.
Yep, and
There
I
you
have
go.
long distance
Free
forever.
long distance forever.
Forever.
He wants me to hack the planet. You've got free long distance on that phone. Forever.
Rat is a super hacker who can do anything, and he was going to be arrested for 46 counts of
64.
bullshittery. 64 counts, I'm sorry, of bullshittery with computers, and he microwaved his CDs and then shoved his floppy drives, or 3.5-inch floppy drives. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I do. I
Okay.
had to use them.
Cool. 3.5-inch floppy drive when you were 9. 3.5-inch floppy drives he shoved down the garbage disposal of his house, and then he did something else. He pushed some buttons and they all purged information, because that's how that works. Who's the protagonist who's the antagonist in this film? I mean, other than
The
Earth.
one guy, the douchebag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Aaron Eckhart is the science. Oh, what did I call him? Dr. Teacher Man?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's Dr. Teacher Man, and he's super smart, and he knows what's going on. But he also has a mentor in this other professor guy.
I don't know if he was a mentor. I think that he he was like famous in the field.
Oh, that's right,
Because
because
he came from the Academy of Sciences.
Dr. Smart Guy went to his speech or whatever, and he was trying to sign a book for him because he's a smug asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, what's your name?
Josh Keys. Josh? No, sir, I don't need you to not sign it. I need you to read that.
I'm sorry, I don't have time. I'm
Sir.
late for the White House, please.
I need you to confirm my results, sir.
Young man, do you have any idea who I am?
Yes, I do, sir. Please read this.
Yeah, too smart for his own good. Anyway, so they're sort of working.
No, it wasn't a book. It was the file folder of all the information for what was going to make the Earth implode. And he thought it was a book.
Good.
Anyways, he's an asshole. So
He's a
yeah.
douchebag, and he was trying to explain to the government how things were bad.
Oh, yeah,
And
he's like, oh.
he lit a peach on fire, and
Always need
because
some
you
theatrics.
said in any, what was it? In
Any good briefing, you need some theatrics.
There it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody's not paying attention. They're on their cell phones playing Doodle Jump or whatever
Yeah,
they're
of
doing.
course. In a very secure briefing.
So, light a peach on fire. That gets your point
For
across.
several seconds. And then throw it in someone's water.
And it goes
Feel free to throw up.
like you're like you're putting a sword into the cooling pot after you've smashed it a
yes.
couple times. Yeah. All right. So then there's the evil government guy who late in the movie wants to destroy everything with a super weapon.
With a super weapon that's never really explained. Like,
Not clearly.
no.
Like, did the super weapon start the core shutting down?
Well, no, he did say that they like released it or something. Like they tested it and that's what initiated the slowdown.
I feel like that was said.
Yeah. And so then they were gonna use it again to just
An electric shock can stop a heart. It can certainly restart one. Destiny will work.
something.
Because when you do something that messes something up,
Do it
doing it
twice.
again, it's that whole
Two negatives make a positive.
You're right, it's the whole amnesia thing. If you get bonked in the head and you have amnesia, you bonk them in the head again and everything comes back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Problem solving.
Oh, are you Owen Wilson?
Wow.
Wow.
Well, yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. Is there anybody else in this movie? I mean, there's a couple of guys that...
James.
James? Who's James?
The guy who also the foreigner who had the picture of his wife in the
All
lab
right,
notebook.
so there's 6
Yeah.
people on the crew that go down into the core. So you have Hilary Swank, you have Aaron Eckhart, you have the black guy, and I'm really sorry I don't remember his name. And then you have the douchebag asshole. That's 4.
That is his full name.
And then you have the president of Independence Day, who is the pilot, I
The
guess.
main pilot. The main
Yeah.
pilot, yeah.
And then you have one other guy who we never really met too much.
No, that was like the
Didn't get to know him.
Aaron, whatever his name is,
Eckhart's.
Dr. Teacher dude. His really good friend.
Is he? Oh, he was good friends with
Yeah,
him.
they were good friends.
Well, then that explains why he was so broken up when the guy died. Oops, spoilers.
Come on, sir! Come on! No! I know! You need them! No! God, no, sir!
It's okay. It's
Sir,
okay.
come on! No! Come on, Fred! In the box! No, Josh! Josh, we can overrun! We can get him! We can get him! Hold on! Hold on!
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, everybody pretty much dies
Yeah.
except for Dr. Teacher Man and Hilary Swank,
Yeah.
and then they make out.
Yeah, like it was nothing like they've had a relationship this whole time.
Well, look,
Oh.
if we're near death, we set aside all other bullshit and we make out because
You have to procreate when things are going bad.
they didn't procreate. They
Well,
just
that's-
made out.
Okay, well, you never know those.
Do you think
deleted
that's what
scenes.
procreating is?
Exactly, it's all through like spit.
Oh, no. Oh my God. Okay. That's not how it works. Talk to your
No.
mom. Okay. So let's now, okay, we're done with characters because screw all the characters. There's so many people in this movie that you can't really keep
Yeah.
track of them anyway because so much stuff is happening all at the same time, and oh my God, there's just too many things to pay attention to. So we're gonna just move right on to the quality of the film.
Spectacular.
That's a lie.
It is, yeah. It's really bad. The CGI is so bad.
Hold on. It's not that bad for the time. It's 2003.
Why do you keep on thinking it's 1990 something?
So I'm looking at the CGI in the movie, and I'm thinking they tried. I mean, they tried pretty hard, especially because it was 15 years ago. They tried.
But why so bad? It looked like they were going into a time warp every time there was just like.
Well, you explained it to me that their vision was based on density.
Yeah, because of that whole like.
Because they could see through whales.
What is it called?
Oh, there's unobtainium in
Yeah.
this too.
What do you call this material? Well, its real name has 37 syllables. I call it unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
You know that stuff from Avatar? The core invented it.
Mm-hmm.
Unobtainium.
Mm-hmm. You can't see through it, and it can allow for a laser.
Is that what the ship was made out of?
Yeah.
So apparently, unobtainium, I'm saying that wrong, but the element that is unobtainable in its name,
Yeah.
they gathered so much of it that they built subway cars out of it.
Yeah, subway car.
Like 7 of them.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what the ship was. It was like 7 subway cars all linked together. They had a dining cart and a sleeping cart, and I think they had a wardrobe cart because these people changed
Yes.
clothes several times.
And it was only like a
36
36-hour
hours.
type of deal.
So whoever was paying attention to continuity and like scripty and second, they weren't really doing a good job.
No. I mean, in the arm thing of the dead people in the beginning.
When we were paying attention to the film, so Dr. Smart Guy walks into the government facility and all these people are dead, just laying on gurneys. And he bumps into one and an arm falls out. And he's like, ugh, arm, dead people.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's how you do.
How were all of these individuals who are not military personnel released to the military?
How did they gather all those people citywide and bring them to one place in a couple of hours?
And probably not notify their family or somehow get like confirmation that they can have them?
The Core is one of those films where if you start thinking about stuff, it all just falls apart.
Yeah,
so
you can't think during this movie.
turn your brain off.
Completely off. Maybe take some LSD.
Maybe even turn the sound down. Because you're not going to understand what's being said or what's happening. So it's just visuals. It's just a lot of visual things happening. So
Bad visuals, yeah.
So yeah, there's a point where you get an opposite angle of this thing after the arm has fallen off the gurney, and then the arm's back up inside the...
Zombies.
You're teasing me. Oh my.
The greatest concern was this may have been an act of war, but since it's not, I think we can all breathe a little easier, can't we?
The Core 2?
Could be. Oh, please make a sequel, Core
Yes.
people. Who was the director? Never worked again.
No, he really didn't.
Nope.
Good stuff.
The universe works out. Okay, so, but the visuals, like the video, this was a high budget movie. Like they put a lot of money into it. No. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
not in the writing and the acting and the production so much, but
Yeah.
in the actual like video part of it. There was some good set design.
Yeah, the unobtainium car was all of the film stuff in there was pretty good.
The interiors were nice.
Yeah.
Anything exterior or CGI was garbage.
Yes. They didn't explain how they were seeing like through the car, like their window at all. Because it looked like X-ray.
Were there windows? No, those
I
were
don't know.
screens.
They were screens.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
screens,
yeah. But I don't know how they created this weird program to be able to determine density or what was like the laser couldn't get through.
What is this?
Well, it's, I invented it. It's how you're gonna steer underground.
It's, not very good reception.
Well, you're looking through 3 feet of lead at 50 yards away, so ain't bad.
How do you even know?
That's an excellent point that Ashelyn is making, is that somehow there were cameras or some sort of sensing devices.
How did they not melt?
That were firing forward, to identify the density of things and then translate that into pictures.
In real time.
Oh, I just noticed that all this hand motion is
That's
just like
fine.
covering your face. Sorry. I'll keep them down. And so, yeah, so there's cameras out there showing densities and such, and then there's also lasers firing this cone of destruction in front of them.
It looks like an airplane turbine.
But you get one little geodiamond stuck in it, then you're screwed.
Yeah. Cobalt, what can you do?
Oh my God, there's a whole
And
scene.
how did they move? I still don't understand how they moved.
I tried explaining this to you. There were those like gyroscopal things on the outside moving in opposite directions like this. and that was burrowing down the hole
I
that
don't
the
believe
lasers
it.
were making. I'm trying to make sense of this film. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You tried to make sense of Dracula 3000.
But why didn't he wake them up?
He didn't have the blood.
But he did though, because he bit the one guy.
Ashelyn is trying to assign some sort of sense to this movie, some sort of logical
I need it to
ideas.
make sense. It makes me mad. There's so many plot holes.
This is my turn now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. So, yes, an A train was burrowing down through the mantle of the Earth with lasers cutting a hole
And the material just disappearing for no reason.
but reappearing behind it.
Oh yeah.
So, where's the best place to start digging? In the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
I'm saying that wrong, but in that
That
big
one.
7-mile deep trench. Because why?
Because it was thinner there.
The
The
mantle,
crust.
yeah, the crust. I'm sorry, the crust is
was
thinner,
thinner.
but
There was a lot of seismic activity
unstable.
and a lot of cross currents that apparently the pilots had never looked up and researched beforehand.
I went to school, and there's an equation that's called PV equals nRT. I'm showing it behind us, and has to do with the relationship between pressures and temperatures and volumes of gases and fluids and such.
800,000.
Yes, so this unobtainium A train was designed to withstand pressures of 1 million pounds per square inch. 1 million.
But they could walk in it.
So at one point, they bust through a cobalt-lined geode.
Yeah.
I can't say that without laughing. And at that point, they're experiencing pressures of 800,000 pounds per square inch. Unfortunately, the geodes, they can't drive through or blast through with their super laser, so they get stuck.
They just kind of rammed it
Yeah.
and made a hole.
It was like crash landing an airplane or a space shuttle
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah.
I think we saw that scene twice. That's what happened. Anyway, they go outside in some sort of suits that protect them.
Somehow from the heat
No. Just no.
and pressure.
Just no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it didn't matter if they came up super quickly. The bends didn't get them. Well, they also didn't show them at the very end, so I guess we don't know if they died or not.
No, but then there was a crack in the geode and magma was falling down into it, so it made a magma pit where the Independence Day president fell into.
Yeah.
Dead. He's dead.
He died. First one out.
This movie's so bad. Anyway, okay, so what about the sound design? I thought the sound was okay. I mean, they did okay.
Oh, that was not my first. I don't even know.
We weren't really paying attention to the sound, which means it wasn't bad enough to think
notice,
that it
yeah.
was terrible. So sound was fine, and then the music, the score, it was probably annoying, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I wasn't paying. There's much more annoying things
Yeah.
than.
I do think there was sound and music through the entire film, though, or not music per se, but like scoring. So there was always some background music happening. Well, we're gonna fast forward right into special effects then. So.
Killer.
Killer? That's what you're going with? Killer?
Yep.
Killer. They were spotty. So
That's as bad as your critique is gonna be.
when lightning killed Italy, I thought some of those were interesting special effects. No?
Can you please play that behind
Oh,
us?
it's playing right now. All the ridiculous destruction.
Can our background just be the Italy when it's destroyed the whole time?
When the Colosseum was lighting up and rays of light were coming
Yeah.
out of the arches.
Oh yeah, it was making it blue. The whole thing was blue at one point.
Yes, and people died, and lots of people
Like
died.
I feel like we opened a portal in that scene.
We did. To despair and horror and pain.
That scene was my favorite, I think, of the whole movie. It was so pointless. Besides the bird bird being run over by the Doubledecker?
All right, so there's a scene in England. We're in England as well.
Yes,
so there's
yeah.
a scene in England where some of the nonsense started from the core being slowed down or stopped. And all of a sudden the birds go nuts and they start flying to windows. They smash into people's cars, and apparently no brakes. There are no brakes in England.
No one brakes.
No vehicle can stop
But
once
they
it gets
all
going.
crash in one central location.
Yeah, it was Trafalgar Square or whatever that thing is called. So yeah, nobody applied brakes when things went to shit. Anyway,
Especially to birds.
there is a particular scene, and it has no reason for being.
No.
But a bird falls on the ground, and the bus runs it over. I mean, you can literally see a tire run right over the bird.
We made a point to show that, like, as if it was important. It
Yeah,
was
like,
essential.
"Ha-ha, gotcha, bird."
Yep, just the one.
Screw you, bird. Anyway, so yeah, birds went crashing through plate glass windows.
Yeah?
And a little boy cried. What else happened in England? Nothing.
Nothing.
Doesn't matter.
Nothing really.
That scene didn't matter.
No.
Because, like, one scene later, we were seeing all kinds of weird things happening in the sky. And
Yeah.
somewhere
But then they
else.
had 3 months to build a ship, even though it was supposed to happen in the next couple of days.
I want to know what happened in those 3 months. Like,
Same,
like
yeah.
if all the crap, all the weird stuff was happening in those first days, like,
Did everybody with pacemakers die?
I would assume.
Yeah. Well, then why didn't the
That's
radio
why all
waves...
those people were dead in
Yeah.
the hangar, that
Yeah.
the arm fell out. Pacemakers just went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then why
And why did-
was that the only, like, technology that just zip?
Good point. Why didn't all laptops and phones and everything else
Yeah.
stop working? All right, so that's the extent of the special effects in this film. They were spotty.
At best.
I liked some of them.
Like what? Exactly.
Okay. The design of the A train, the
That's not a
nuclear
special
A train.
effect.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Well, practical effects are still special effects. I
Okay.
mean, they're still, you know. So yeah, and then the molecule, of course, the molecule of unobtainium.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of the special effects were awful, like really bad. And that's not just 15 years bad, that's bad.
Yeah, just like, there's no helping them.
All right, well, that brings us to the question of does it work? So
Does what work?
Yes, let's define what this movie is. What do you think it is?
Bad.
No, like
Oh.
what kind of film?
What do you
You've
mean?
done this show before.
I don't know if it falls into a category of anything. Are you talking about like genre?
Yes, genre of film. What kind of a film is it?
It doesn't fall into a category.
Yes, it does. It's science fiction. Action? Action.
No, because it
It's a
wasn't even
science
that action.
It's a
There
science
wasn't that
action
much
movie.
action.
Yeah, well, I mean, they tried. They tried to make action.
It literally was just them on a subway train
Look,
going
when
through
those
liquid.
when those rocks were hitting the A train as they were
The
in
diamonds
the water.
and Magnum.
Did you say Magnum?
I did.
Oops.
I
It's
guess like a
science-
poor sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
It's just like it wasn't like in retrospect it wasn't very eventful.
I'm gonna jump in here. It was an action film. It was a disaster action film.
It's a disaster!
I'll say disaster film. Yeah.
Okay, so
disaster film.
in the late 80s, I'm sorry, in the late 90s to early 2000s, the Hollywood made all these disaster films, and we talked
Tornado.
about this. Yeah,
was like
what
the
is it,
number
Twister?
one. Yeah.
Twister, like probably kicked it off. In fact, I
Mm-hmm.
have it. It's right over there somewhere, but I can't remember what year that came out. But Hollywood's weird, and as soon as one like standout genre film hits like big, and I believe Twister might have started
I think it was, yeah.
then they jump on and they think of every disaster they can think of, and they're like, okay, let's do a what else happens? A volcano. Let's do a volcano movie, which she loves. And then asteroid movie. Let's do an asteroid movie. Armageddon. That's a good movie,
Day
right?
After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow is super cold.
I don't think I've seen Armageddon.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, weird, right?
too bad. I kind of like Armageddon, and that's my guilty pleasure. So shut up.
Okay.
Not you, but shut up you. I actually like that movie. Yes. So they decided they were going to make a disaster movie about the core of the Earth. Stopped spinning. So
They were really clenching at straws here at the end after all of these other movies came out.
I don't think clenching at straws is the right phrase, but
I
I
don't,
know
you
where
know
you're
what
going
I'm trying
with that.
to say.
I know where
Yeah,
you're going
it's
with
late. Yeah.
She's very tired. And okay, so as a disaster action film,
0.
are you saying no, it doesn't work?
Oh yeah, I thought you were giving me a 1 to 10 rating.
Okay.
No, it doesn't work.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you. It doesn't work.
No.
And many other reviewers agree with us that it doesn't work. It got a 5.5
Yeah.
on the out of 10
IMDb.
on the tomato meter or
No,
IMDb? Okay.
Yeah, and then 40% on the tomato meter or something like
Yeah,
that.
because it is just a bad film. If you pay any attention to what is actually supposedly happening, you're just gonna, it's laughably bad. It's
Yeah.
laughably wrong.
I can't even like say how many times you're like, what is happening?
The simple premise of building building
Yeah.
anything that can withstand pressures like that is ridiculous
Yeah.
on its face. So, I mean, just ridiculous. Everything is so wrong about this movie. Okay, so that's it. This movie is shit. So the last thing I ask is, say you were to suggest this movie to somebody to watch, how many beverages of alcohol would you suggest that they drink?
we'd
You
get
remember, yes.
Up.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many would you suggest they drink before and during while they're watching this to enjoy it?
We would need at least a bottle of wine prior to watching it.
Which she drank.
I did throughout the whole thing though, which was a mistake. I needed to drink it all
Before,
beforehand
correct.
and then have a backup bottle.
Would have been way funnier.
I really genuinely do believe it would be really funny because it's so bad.
Yeah. Now, do you have to be as smart as you to appreciate how dumb and stupid and funny it is?
I think you need a little bit of a science background to appreciate how just outright outlandish it is.
I agree with you. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
just going to let things go.
You might think it's just boring.
Or you might just think that oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
it would work.
Yeah, that too. Okay, yep, that's that.
Ooh, that's not how that works. Because 125 by 5, that wouldn't end in a 0. Wow, we're nerds. Okay,
Yep,
so
so,
anyway,
math.
you're saying 2 bottles of wine.
Yep.
I'm saying... All right, I've never done this before, but I'm going to say that depending on your intelligence level, there is no enough to enjoy the film. And I know that's such a cop-out because I've actually scolded people who say infinity. I think you said about Dracula 3000, there's not enough. How many alcoholic beverages do you believe it would take to really enjoy this film?
Enough for me to be blacked out. Yeah.
Like, I believe you said that.
Yeah.
And I scolded you then. And now you can scold me now because there is not enough to enjoy this film.
Yeah, you can't enjoy it. You can laugh at it though.
I mean, if you have the right people with you, maybe.
Yes, yeah.
But they all have to be sciencey, and they all have to be intelligent and drunk at the same time. And
It's
then,
not that hard to get together though.
well, yeah, that's true. But then there's there's like a cliff that you fall off. Like once you get too many people together and they're too
that's
drunk,
true.
then you can't hear or understand what they're
Yeah.
trying to say on the screen, and
We
it
did
just
have to rewind quite a bit.
and then it just gets boring
Yeah.
because there's all this shit happening. So you have to pay attention to it to the point where you hear the nonsense to laugh at and be drunk enough to laugh at the nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like a Mobius strip of bullshit is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
So figure out how drunk you have to be to tolerate nonsense and then laugh at it.
Yeah. But you still need the ability to read, so you can't be that drunk.
I'm gonna say 3-15. You need
3-15.
3-15 drinks to enjoy this film.
A second that.
Ashelyn, thank you for coming and spending some time with me.
Of course, I had so much fun.
And you go back to Chapel Hill to save the planet. She's so modest. But you're working on your PhD. So when you receive your PhD in like 6 months,
No.
I
wish.
Will I have to call you Dr. Ashelyn?
Yeah, Dr. Ashelyn Sitters.
I wasn't gonna. Oh,
it's
shoot,
fine.
that's what we forgot to do. I forgot to
What?
give out your Instagram.
Oh, you don't
Because
have to
there's
do that.
many cute. Oh, there's too
You
bad.
can if you want.
Nope, not doing it now. There's many cute pictures of you and your dog.
Oh, this is true. Okay, you can give it out.
But I'll just show a couple pictures
Okay.
of you and your cute dog because I'm on her Instagram. You're not. So that is the show. And wow, I'm bad at ending this. Stay tuned for the 20th episode. I'm sure that's going to be very special.
Why?
They won't.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Ashlyn, thank you very much for coming back and sitting with me. And enjoy. Enjoy. Bye. This was the most awkward ending ever. Thanks.
I love it so
Good.
much.